seniors might be out there watching this video right now, and you might be worried about how you're going to pay for long-term care one day if you get to that point. For many people watching, it takes decades and decades and decades to save up their savings, and then only for a stroke or dementia to happen later in life, and things get blown just like that. And so it's super important to have a plan for when the day comes and you do need long-term care. Otherwise, you guys could find yourself living your worst nightmare in that you could exhaust everything you've worked hard for, paying for care expenses, or even worse, you could become a burden on your kids or your other loved ones if they're having to dig in their own pockets to help pay for your care. So guys, if you've never seen me, my name's Jamison Bonds, and I've been an estate and elder law attorney for the last 10 years. And today I want to talk to you about protecting your assets and qualifying for Medicaid. So a lot of times it's very beneficial to do planning ahead of time before the day comes and you need Medicaid. In fact, over the 10 years I've been helping people kind of fall in two different camps. Either they're in their mid-60s, 70s, or 80s and they're wanting to plan ahead of time, where they've got at least a 5-year cushion before they get sick and need Medicaid. Or the other types of people, crap hit the fan yesterday and we need care right away. We need Medicaid planning right away. Well, if you find yourself in this camp here, don't fret, don't worry, there is still hope for you. And at the end of this video, you're going to have a good understanding about what are the tips and tricks. So qualifying for Medicaid, that's going to be the first issue that we're talking about. So whenever you get to the point where you need long-term care, whether that's home care, assisted living, or nursing home care, there's really 3 different ways for you to pay for care. One is you can be a decamillionaire where you don't care how long you need nursing home care. You can just keep paying out of pocket for good. 2 is you can have nursing home or long-term care insurance. But for most people, this doesn't work out because they had to have bought it back in their 40s or 50s whenever it was affordable. Or the third option is qualifying for Medicaid coverage or for VA help. And today we're going to focus on that. And so for anybody who's looked up Medicaid coverage, it really comes down to not just can you qualify health-wise for it, but how do your finances look? Can you financially qualify for their eligibility requirements to get Medicaid? And with Medicaid, there's different rules based on if you're a single person or if you're a married person. But today we're really going to harp on the single person rules. Medicaid allows everybody to own one house in Arkansas up to about $680,000, and that includes all land and all outbuildings. They allow you to own one car, and they don't care if it's a Ford Fiesta or a new Cadillac Escalade. And then they let you have prepaid burial if you've done that before. Everything else, whenever we're looking to see if we qualify for Medicaid, is considered a countable resource. And with a single person, unfortunately, they're looking at all your checking, savings, money market accounts, brokerage accounts, mutual funds, IRAs, Roth IRAs, health savings accounts, etc. And you can only have $2,000 of countable resources in order to qualify for Medicaid. So that's where we've got some work to do. Now, a lot of people say, well, I know what I'll do. Whenever I have a stroke and one day I need nursing home care, I'll just lift up my money, give it to the kids, and I'll qualify for Medicaid the next day. I wish it was that easy. But if you've done any reading at all about Medicaid planning, you've probably come in contact with this concept of the 5-year look back. So Congress imposes a penalty period for people who give assets away during the 5 years leading up to them applying for Medicaid benefits. And it's not illegal to give your assets away, but essentially what happens in Arkansas, for every $8,334 you give away, it causes a 1-month wait of eligibility, where you can't otherwise get help paying for your care during that penalty period. So if you gave away $83,000 on the eve of needing nursing home care, there would be a 10-month penalty or a waiting period before the government would help you pay for your care. Okay, so generally speaking, it's not okay without proper planning to just give away assets because it will invoke this penalty period, but that's okay. Later in this video, we're going to talk about how to walk through this penalty, how to actually shorten this penalty, and how for you to get the most out of your savings with a little bit of Medicaid planning. So next, what are your options of preserving assets? Again, in this situation here, it's too late. We didn't plan 5 years ahead. The crap hit the fan yesterday. We had a stroke. We need care right away. So what can be done in order to protect your assets? The first one I want to talk to you about is called the gift and return method. And so if you're thinking like most people, wait, I thought you couldn't gift away during the 5-year look back. Listen up, because we're going to address those concerns. So with the gift and return method, let's say you've got $83,000. In order to qualify for Medicaid, we're going to pick that money up and put it in your loved one's hands, your children's hands. Now, whenever we instruct people to do a gift and return case, we don't want them to mix up the parents' money with the kids' money. So we would always ask the kids to open up their own bank account and have the parents pick up their extra assets, put them in the kid's name in order to spend down below that $2,000 limit. Now, whenever we apply for Medicaid for someone, we're not trying to sweep this under the rug. We're giving a full accounting to DHS that we indeed made that gift, and then Medicaid will assess a penalty for us. And they'll say, since you gave away $83,000 in this instance, there'll be a 10-month wait. Well, with the gift and return, the rules say that we're allowed to cure a gift in the penalty period by making a return of the gifted assets. So what ends up happening in this case, half of the money that gets gifted to the kids gets used to pay during this waiting period that we've established through the gift. And then at the end of the day, through lawyer help, you're able to preserve half that money that got given away. So I'll give you a quick example. If you gave away $83,000, there's a 10-month wait. The government says all that money that you spent by giving it away, you could have paid for your own care. So without lawyer help, all that money would have to come back to pay through that waiting period. But through using an elder law attorney like me, what happens is the first month your nursing home bills comes due, the kids use that gifted money to pay for your nursing home care. Then the attorneys come back and we say, hey guys, you gave us a 10-month wait for giving away $83,000, but we just returned $8,300 by paying for mom and dad's nursing home care. They say, you're right, you cured part of the gift. Now there's only a 9-month wait. The second month rolls around, the kids use the gifted money to pay the waiting period for that second month. The law firm goes back and we tell DHS, guys, you gave us a $75,000 penalty period, but we just returned $8,300 by paying for mom or dad's nursing home care. You're right, you cured another part of the gift, and they shorten the waiting period again. So at the end of the day, instead of having to use all that money to pay during the waiting period, through an elder law attorney, you're going to be able to cut that waiting period in half, and the kids are going to be left with half of those assets you would have otherwise had to spend down. Now, I don't know about you, but $42,000 or $40,000 in protected assets is a heck of a lot better than spending it all down below $2,000. So the next option we're going to talk about is called the gift and annuity method. It's very similar to the gift and return. But with the gift and annuity method, what we do is we give half of the assets away to your children or your loved ones for them to hold on to it. Again, just like in the other method, I don't want that money mixed up with their own, so they're going to open up their own account. Then with the rest of the money you have in your case, so we gave away 40, we've got 40 left in our situation. We're going to purchase something called a Medicaid compliant immediate annuity, or a SPIA. And what this does is it takes these assets that we're not allowed to have and it immediately converts it into income for me, the person who's in the nursing home. And when we set up this annuity, the whole purpose of it is to give us enough income to privately pay for the nursing home during the months we have to wait during the penalty period from giving that other money away to the kids. When we set up this SPIA, or the single premium immediate annuity, normally it's very short and it's just long enough to get us through the waiting period or the penalty period. And at the end of the day, in this case, the kids are left holding $40,000 of your assets that's protected from the nursing home and protected from a spend down, and the rest of it was used to pay for that waiting period. Of this video is that if you're in a situation where you're concerned about how you're going to pay for long-term care and you've never done any planning before, I don't want you to fret about it, because there is a lot of stuff that a qualified elder law attorney can help coach you through step by step in order for you to legally and ethically protect what you've worked hard for at the end of the day and make sure you get the care you deserve for you or your loved one that you're worried about. Guys, I hope you found this informative. If this was good for you, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos on these topics, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button and the alert button, and we'll be putting out more content like this if this is helpful. Until next time, my friends, we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.